Good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. Is a revolution underway, or an attempted revolution underway? That's what I want to talk about today, and it has a little something to do with that Minnesota shooter up there, the one that killed those folks. You know, the Tim Walz appointee, right? Okay, and you all been following that, right? I don't think I have to fill in all the details, but this was a guy who was an appointee by Tampon Tim, and obviously well ingrained in the left, and he shot and killed a couple of those people. He shot four, killed a couple up there in Minnesota. And information, when I got up this morning, I saw some other stuff that made me start to put together the why. You know how the law enforcement is always saying we're still looking for a motive. Well, I have just from what I've seen in open source news outlets, I have what I think is the motive, and it has to do with an attempt on the part of the left to start a revolution in this country. And I mean a real revolution. I don't mean the quiet communistic revolution that they've been trying for a while, but a real shooting one. Okay, so before we get started, I want to remind you that all of my videos are brought to you by the Stonemont Series, my books, the books I wrote about the total collapse of everything, and how one family, as a result of their preparedness, was able to not only continue to live very well, but able to help other people and then rebuild community and society. And if you haven't read them, and if you're interested in real preparedness, and I mean real preparedness, not just the running around, oh, I'm afraid of this and I'm afraid of that kind of stuff. If you're interested in real preparedness, you will love them. There's 7 novels in serial form. It's one continuous story, a great story, but I put more in here than you can shake a stick at. You will learn things that you never even thought of without even realizing you're learning them, because you'll be engrossed in the story. So that's what people always say. Every now and then I'll get somebody come on, how come you got to talk about your books? Well, because I'm a writer, and that's what I do for a living. And that's why I'm up in the great state of Washington right now doing research on my next video. But that's the only reason that I started a YouTube channel anyway. And then the YouTube channel grew, and I'm still here, and so are the books. So I wanted to let you know about that. You can get them a couple of different ways. You can get them through Amazon. You can always get them through Amazon. And we just set a record last week. But anyway, you can also get them a much better way that I love you to do, but I want to give you a warning about it. You can get it through me, through our website, stonemont.us, and I get to sign them for you, and I get to write a little note in each one to you. And then we also, if you buy them as a set, which is how most people do, you get a discount, because we save money as we, shipping and packaging and everything like that. And I also toss in the Stonemont notebook, which is very cool. So, what I wanted to warn you about, if you get them through me, and I love you to do that, I prefer you to do that, because I love seeing my readers. But we are so snowed under with orders. We're clawing our way back up, but we're still about a month behind in order fulfillment. We've had so many orders. Thank you all for ordering these books. You're going to love them. I hope you love them. I know you'll love them, because everybody tells me that they do. Okay, so there you go. If you want them from me, like I say, stonemont.us, and but just be willing, be a little patient, be willing to wait a little while, a month or so, till you get them, and I'll get them to you as fast as I can. Okay, so what's this guy up there? I saw a couple of things. He's on the run. They haven't caught him. This shooter up in Minnesota. They did apparently police stopped a car with his wife and other family members in it, about 100 miles north of the Twin Cities, and detained them. I haven't seen that any of them were arrested, but they detained them for questioning. And in there, they found in the vehicle, they found ammo, and passports. Headed toward Canada with passports. The People's Republic of Canada. I know I'm in the People's Republic of Washington right now, but a lot of good people in both Canada and Washington. Too bad your governments are so screwed up. But anyway, so I hear today that, and I just saw it about an hour ago. I think I probably saw it on Breitbart. I don't know. How the list, this shooter had a list of other people he was going to target. Among those on the list were Ilhan Omar, the brother Marrier, uh, the Somali who wants to destroy America. Uh, it wasn't Hakeem Jeffries, Keith Ellison, the Muslim Attorney General of uh, Minnesota. Who else was on it? There were a number of Tim Walz himself, the tampon, himself was on it, on this list of people that he was going to target. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Don't assume that he was actually going to. And here's my point. And some others, and I forget who else. Doesn't matter. You can find out. I'm sure you'll see it on the news. Others that uh, uh, abortion providers. Okay, now who would most people say these people would be targeted by? Ask yourself that. Why take another sip? You already have the answer, but I'm still going to take another sip. Oh yeah, you can get our mugs on the website too. Isn't that a beautiful one? Stonemont, Semper Paratus, Integrated Preparedness. We prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and we have the Bible, axe, and rifles. Those things on which our country was based. Um, so who would have this kind of list? Who would be targeting these specific individuals? Well, it certainly wouldn't be somebody on the left, would it? No, of course not. And I had wondered why this guy was wearing, a mask, not a mask, like a, Zorro or COVID, but the full mask to make him look like somebody totally else, to make him look like maybe what? A right winger, a bitter clinger, a white supremacist, something like that, right? So this is what I'm getting at. I would, nobody can say for sure, but I would propose this possibility, and I would take this very seriously. This was a leftist guy. It also makes me wonder why they didn't catch him very quickly. They were able to identify him. So here's the scenario. If I were writing a book, here it would be. On the weekend of all of the No Kings demonstrations. Oh, that's another thing. We had just left Salt Lake City, and the big protests became riots, and somebody just got shot out there shortly after I left. And then we're headed to Portland tomorrow, through Portland and up into Seattle, a couple other places where the riots are increasing. No, I have nothing to do with these riots. But it'll be interesting if we see any. I'll catch some on video and show you. No, we're driving across the north part of Oregon because this is beautiful. Then we're headed up to Seattle so the kids can go up in the Space Needle. And then we're coming back across the state of Washington and Idaho, down through Montana, down through Yellowstone, and and I'm up here doing research on another book series. That's why I'm here. But stepping off of there, on the why, if I were writing a book on the weekend of the No Kings protests, and have you seen the size of these things? These things are a lot bigger than I thought they would be. I thought it would just be a smattering, a little bit of, we get our signs and a bunch of blue hairs get out there and stomp their little feet and everything. No, it is a lot bigger, and it's also, if you watch them, you see that it's well orchestrated. We know that it's well funded by that Neville Singham guy, the commie billionaire. So these things are very organized. And what did they say? 200,000 in LA? And in Portland, was it Portland where they attacked the ICE? I don't know, it's either Portland or Seattle, but they're attacking police. And so if I were writing the book about a group, the commie left, really wanting to start the shooting revolution, I would say on this weekend, when all these things, we know all these things are going to happen, I would dress up one of my far left weirdos in a mask, have him shoot several, you know, kind of small time, to be honest. They're small time, they're Minnesota state officials. Have him shoot a few of those and then escapo, right? And then leave behind a list of very prominent leftist Democrat, not just people, but causes, such as Ilhan Omar, Keith Ellison. So what do we have there? We have a couple, very high profile, right? And interestingly, both Muslim. And Tim Walz, and Planned Parenthood, and some others. Don't have to shoot them, just have to leave the list behind. Like, they're next, I'm after these people, right? No. So that is how I would start the next shooting revolution. What do you think? That's my thoughts. And so we will see what happens. I don't expect this stuff. Well, first of all, it's not going to continue with the intensity that it is. I don't think. Now, it could. I'm like I say. I remember the summer of '68. It could retain its. It could stay at this level. Okay, if other things happen. If nothing else happens right now, the degree of intensity is going to decrease. In which case, I think we will continue to see sporadic attacks and riots and protests or whatever throughout the summer. But if something else can happen, police shootings, all sorts of things, the intensity is going to at least maintain and maybe increase. And we will just see what happens. Anyway, that's my opinion on this. That's what I think the motive could be. And it'll be interesting to see if and when they catch this guy, and if or what story they tell about this. And I doubt that they will, even if they find out that the story is much like what I just related, I doubt that they'll say it. Okay? All right. Well, as I said the other day, and I was talking to some of the other guys here, commies never give up. They never quit. They'll take setback after setback, but they will just come and they will use that to fuel their anger and their hatred. And you look. I started to say this, and I don't think I finished it earlier. You watch the mobs. You watch these, and you can see, if you know what you're looking for, you can see the professional agitators in there, and they're there, and they're doing a good job. I mean, not good as in good, but they are doing an excellent job at what they are trying to accomplish. So anyway, it's a dangerous world. Stay safe. Stay out of large crowds. Yeah, I know everybody says that, right? I don't stay out of large crowds if I want to go somewhere. I'm going to live my life. Just be ready to take care of things. Be capable. If you don't think you're capable, then stay out of large crowds, or increase your capability. Right here is where the guy's going to come on. Nobody's capable. Well, you haven't been there, have you? Have you? Because you don't know what to do. But the rest of you are good folks. I know that you will be safe, and we will see what's going on. Okay? All right. Hey, remember, again, if you want the books, and if you do what this book says, you will be safe from just about anything out there. If you want them, Amazon, Links down below or through our website, stonemont.us. Just be willing to wait a little bit. I'll get them to you as fast as I can, but I do love it when you do that. And because I love, seeing the name of the person who's ordering, to John or to Mary or to Susan or to Bob, whatever. It gives me that feeling, and I really do have that feeling with my readers, of getting to know you all. And I love that. So just, stonemont.us, be willing to wait, and it'll be worth the wait. When you get them, you'll say, well, I'm glad I waited, and now I get to start the series. All right, I'm going out to drink some more coffee with the guys, and then we're going to do some things today. Stay up to date on what's going on, right? And we will see. We will see what we will see. Until then, remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.